70 more picks in the books following the completion now of the second and third round NFL Game Day final just getting started. Rhett Lewis, we got Gerald McCoy down on the edge. An impact second round pick, Maurice Jones-Drew. An impact third round pick here, like we saw tonight, Steve Smith Sr. We had three more quarterbacks get selected, yet the wait continues for Shedeur Sanders. But what current quarterback in the NFL received the most help tonight? Among the topics we will discuss as we get ready to send it back out to Green Bay, where Rich Eisen, Daniel Jeremiah, Joel Klatt, and Charles Davis, again, expertly guiding us through a fantastic evening in Green Bay, where 70 more dreams came true. And we'll send it back out to Green Bay now with Rich.
All right, thanks very much. Here we are as people are filing out behind us, getting ready for day 3, rounds 4 through 7. Daniel, I throw to you your thoughts on night number 2 now that that is in the books.
A lot of movement. I mean, you saw teams kind of know what they wanted to shop for, and they moved around the board to make sure they could go get it. I love what the New England Patriots have done. I thought it was going to be a fascinating storyline to see the quarterbacks picked last year, what their teams would do this year to help these young guys. And, man, I'll tell you what, Elliott Wolf, hats off to you with the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel and company. They've done a lot to help Drake May. It's been a good weekend, and specifically a great night tonight for Drake May and the New England Patriots.
Two things come to mind for me. Number one, whatever you think your evaluation is of a player, don't take that as the gospel, because the league's going to tell you differently. Each one of these 32 teams has a different way of looking at a player, whether it's scheme fit, whether they want traits, whether they want production, size, you name it. So every time you think you know something, they may tell you differently if it doesn't fit their team. That's the first thing. The second thing is the aggressiveness of these teams right now. Joel, the trades and the people that we're working with, these are things we never thought we would see within division. You're never supposed to. No one cares anymore. How do I get the best value for my team? How do I get someone that fits? And people are willing to do it all across the board. And obviously, we didn't have a quarterback go, but we had a number of quarterbacks go ahead of him. Talk about Shedeur Sanders. I'm not trying to get you there, but that has been a big part of the story tonight.
Yeah, I think, what's interesting, you talk about when we evaluate outside of these rooms, these organizations, we just evaluate players. And we watch tape and we evaluate their play on the football field. But a big part of the evaluation for these NFL organizations is the player and the person. And tonight for Shedeur Sanders, this is a time for some deep self-reflection, because his play on the field would suggest that he should already have been selected. I think we would all agree with that theory, in particular in this quarterback class. There were some quarterbacks that their play on the field, probably doesn't warrant the selection over his play on the field. Now, having said that, was his play perfect? No, it wasn't. There's some things that he needs to clean up. There's no doubt about it. The reason he is undrafted at this point is because of the person that sat with those teams and did not, for whatever reason, gel with them. And that's the self-reflection, because this process is all about selling yourself and trying to put yourself in the best possible position to go as high as you possibly can. And, Shedeur tweets out, "Thank you, God, for everything." And again, I'll just go back to this, Rich. I think it is a night for deep self-reflection for Shedeur Sanders about what he was bringing to the table.
I just see a league, though, that goes ahead and takes people with red flags like it's an amusement park about things that you wouldn't want to touch somebody with a 10-foot pole, but we'll take that person because they're really talented.
Well,
and in this case, what?
Let me
because
push
he
back
interviewed
on that.
badly because
let me push back
he
on
didn't. Okay, go for it.
I would just say quarterback is different because of what Ian talked about earlier in the night, in terms of once you get past the point where you're drafting for a starter and you're drafting for a backup, now that red flag or issue becomes a story and a narrative. And now the camera and the microphone is in the backup quarterback's locker. No organization in football wants the microphone and camera in the backup quarterback's locker.
But that's also maybe part and parcel of a head coach not being able to control the narrative. I mean, Bill Belichick would put velvet ropes around any cameras. anything, and then that would be completely removed. If the Pittsburgh Steelers chose Shedeur Sanders, what do you think? Mike Tomlin's suddenly going to have the narrative consume his locker room? No, there's somebody like Cam Hayward in there and TJ Watt in there and a whole bunch of veterans that can absolutely handle this sort of thing. So I don't kind of buy that. The one thing that I do want to push back on as well, or at least get your thoughts on, is the narrative that I'm seeing everywhere that there are league folks who are trying to teach the Sanders family a lesson. I'm sure.
I know where you're coming from.
Go for it.
No, I absolutely know.
Because that is a narrative that's being talked about.
I absolutely know
right
where
now.
you're coming from, because the thought that entered my mind tonight is, if I'm Shedeur Sanders sitting wherever you are right now, and this has not happened, you can't help but start to think it's personal. Like this people have decided collectively to come get me. And I can speak about that from experience. I've encountered a few things in my life where I started to think, oh, this is absolutely personal. You've come for me. It is a hard battle to fight your way through, especially when you are sitting there hurting and you know you're supposed to be picked by your talent and you haven't. So I wish you luck with that one, young man, because you're going to feel it. I'm not sure that's entirely true, but it's going to be hard for you to dispel that narrative until, as Joel said, you get that chance, get to the starting line and start to run your race again. I hope he gets that opportunity starting tomorrow.
It's hard for us to sit here on the desk without all of the information.
Without all the facts.
We haven't been in the rooms. We haven't met with them. You're hearing things second and third hand. There's not that many teams that really met with him and went deep into the process, because there are only so many teams that were in the quarterback market. My free advice, and take it or leave it. My free advice is someone who's scouted the NFL and has been in these rooms. If I was advising Shedeur, I wouldn't do it on social media. I would pick up a phone. I would get the numbers of some of the general managers of teams that you met with, and I would call them and say, please understand, I'm coming. There's no cameras coming with me. Social media is not going to be a big part of it. Anything you might ever be concerned about. I am a football player. I love this game. I put time into it. It's incredibly important to me. I just beg of you to give me the opportunity. I'm not going to come in there. I'm not going to come in there and ruffle any feathers. I'm going to come in there and work, and I'm going to earn my job, whether that's as the number 3 quarterback, the number 2 quarterback, and I'm eventually, hopefully, going to earn your trust and get an opportunity to play on the field. But this doesn't need to play out on social media. It doesn't need to play out in interviews. To me, I would be reaching out directly to those teams if that was someone I was giving advice.
I like where you're going with that. The one thing that just keeps coming back to me, though, is this is a league built on all of that now. Hard knock shows, hard knocks in season, cameras following around. Each team has its own department where the camera's following everyone around and tweeting stuff out and getting this bite out and the whole thing. So if everybody's saying it's because he's bringing his own crew in, I'm struggling with that one, because every team is doing that now. This is a whole part of advertising it. I'd really love to know everything about it. I think all of us up here agree. We're not in those rooms. We don't know what these teams are thinking, so we're looking at it from the outside. By talent, this kid should have been long gone. Someone should have grabbed him and we do it. What exactly is it? Remains to be seen, remains to be found out by us on the outside. I don't know what the Sanders family knows or is hearing. I don't know what people are telling them or not telling them. I just know that if I'm that young man right now, Joel, it's almost impossible to feel that it's not personal.
Here's my thing, though, Joel. The league has sent a message. Now, they might not like the message, but the league has sent a message. Now it's his opportunity to send his message. That's my opinion on it.
But that message, to your point, and I'm gonna double down on what you said.
Yeah.
It can't be public.
No.
It cannot be public. This has to be quiet, and it has to be humble.
Well, if you've noticed, the cameras were not on in the house tonight.
I think that was wise.
Okay, and again, just listen.
I wouldn't invite cameras in on my pain.
Deion's a detriment when it's his own son, but when it's Travis Hunter, the kid just
no problem.
He's second overall because it's his talent. He wasn't coached up, and it's in a significant enough way, right? I mean, so Deion doesn't get the credit for Travis Hunter being second overall.
Oh, I think we all sat up here and gave Deion a lot of credit for that. But when it's his own
son, oh my goodness, he's got this reality show, he's got that reality show. Deion's going to start talking about my business in front of cameras, and all of a sudden my locker room's going to be a mess. Unless you have a better grasp on your own locker room and your own organization and you run it the way you want. And if there's anybody that would know about your organization is run by you the way you want, it's Deion Sanders, who's clearly running the Colorado program the way he wants. And the number of people who criticize everything about him retiring his son's own number, and all of that stuff. He pays that no mind. He runs the organization the way that he runs it. So why can't that be done in the NFL? It just doesn't compute to me.
Rich, there's so much about what you're saying. Go back to when Deion came out. He was so far ahead of his time, and all we heard was people were afraid of, oh, am I getting this? Am I getting that? He still went, 6th overall and became one of the all-time great players. This is why I am wondering, when are we going to get the rest of the story? Because there's so much out there we absolutely can't know, because they can't be that afraid. This league never turns down talent.
It's TOE, right? Talent over everything. It's been that way for ages. It's never going to change. So some of this, a portion of this, is an indictment on what they believe the talent is.
But I will just go back to this. As a perceived backup, which now he is, let's face it, right?
This level of draft.
Day 3. This is day 3. As a perceived backup, this league has told guys time and time again, whether you want to talk about Tim Tebow, Colin Kaepernick, there's a laundry list of guys that would bring a distraction as a backup. And that's the one thing that's not TOE. It's not. And so that's the humbling part about all this. And I get what your point is. I'm just saying that the quarterback position is different.
So let me ask you this question. Now that we've reached the part of the draft where they're choosing backups, as you say, and there may be a sense in the NFL saying, I'm not going to take a young man who thinks himself as a starter as a backup, thus to create problems at a backup position that we would never countenance otherwise. Does this kid not get picked tomorrow? Does he go through tomorrow somehow?
No, because of what Daniel said. If there is some of that deep reflection like I talked about, if there's a couple of calls made, and if there's another almost selling yourself in terms of hey, I'm about football.
He can play
I'm going to come here and work.
Clearly.
He can play football.
Watch the tape.
That's what I'm saying. He can play football.
DJ, normally at this point of a draft, we're looking at your top 100, and you're like got a 99% hit rate.
My next highest guy is 61, and he's 20. So the guy can play. That's why, again, we're trying our best to explain something that we don't pass a test, and we don't have the answers to the test up here.
Very true.
Okay, then real brief, let's give the other kids some due. Who else got picked tonight that you really are excited for the match, the fit? Go for it.
Well,
Daniel.
To me, I just thought Denver, Harvey ended up going to Denver, right? And we talked about them getting that kind of mismatch player, R.J. Harvey out of UCF. So, again, I feel like this thing went so fast tonight. The picks were coming so fast and furious. I'm excited to get home and see who the heck went where after this is all said and done.
Listen, Denver really came in a year ahead of schedule last year.
Yep.
What they did.
Yes.
But they are not looking at themselves like, oh, wow, what a magical season. They're looking at themselves like, keep pressing the gas and let's go.
Yeah.
And they've got an opportunity in their division, because I don't care how you view it otherwise, that Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles for Kansas City, that has opened it wide for everyone who is chasing them now, right? That veneer of invincibility, gone. Denver thought they had them twice last year, right? The blocked field goal pounded them into the season ender. Las Vegas, they think they're better already coming with Pete Carroll and crew. And obviously the Los Angeles Chargers, they always walk away going, how did we just lose to them? We had them on the ropes and we didn't win. Everyone thinks they can go get Kansas City now, and Denver's a big part of that.
I'm thinking of 3 winners, 2 young quarterbacks that were already in the league. Drake May got a lot of help in New England, and Caleb Williams got some help as well in this draft. Luther Burden going all the way, remember, a few hours ago, guys, to the Bears at pick number 39. So those 2 guys, I think, had a good night for their futures. And then it's hard for me not to sit here and think a bit about this from the college perspective. Ohio State was 7 players in the first 45. That was 15% of the draft at that point. I mean, that's going to be on every marketing material for Ryan Day. Come to Columbus and you're going to go to the NFL.
What do you mean going to be? It's already out.
By the way, Rich, I haven't checked my phone in hours, so I just checked my phone. My dad, what's the story with Sanders? I mean, that's literally everybody at home is asking the same question.
That is 100% the conversation of this draft to this point.
And I don't think we don't have the answer.
Through 102 picks, and we will see about tomorrow. Great job, Joel Klatt.
Hey.
You're awesome. You're
Good to be here.
Yeah,
as
Joel,
always,
good to
man.
have
Thank
you.
Rick.
Not to mention, I
Stop
found out that
with
the takedown is worth 3 points now in wrestling, not 2. Yeah, somebody hit me up. Told me I got to get with the times. So.
Joel Klatt.
Thanks, guys.
Joel Klatt is not with us tomorrow. We're replacing you with puppies. Take that for how you wish.
Tell him, Joel, it takes a lot of puppies.
Hey, spoiler alert, I saw the
Pretty sure
puppies.
my wife would replace me with
One
it.
looks like Jackson Dart. I'm just going to tell you that.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, it does. Hang out. Come back tomorrow.
I had no idea. Okay. Tune
Always
in tomorrow,
evaluate.
everybody. It'll be a bright, sunshiny day here. But for night 2, we wrap it up and send things back to Los Angeles.
All right, guys, appreciate that robust conversation about all that is surrounding the wait for Shedeur Sanders at quarterback. We're going to get into some more quarterback conversations here as we welcome you. NFL Game Day final continuing here from Los Angeles. Brett Lewis, Steve Smith Sr., Maurice Jones-Drew, and Gerald McCoy excited to be back here with you to wrap up the second and third round. 70 more picks in the books after 32 in the first round. So, guys, one of the first picks of the second round was Quinshon Judkins to the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yes.
Here's the thing. We love the magic of draft moments, right? The calls that these guys get, right? GMs call, coaches call, owners call. So does nature. And in Quinshon Judkins' case, that resulted in a missed call.
What'd you take from here?
I think that's a yes.
Let's go. I don't even have to say anything.
Yo, Q, congratulations, man. You're a Cleveland Brown. You're coming up the road. You ready to roll?
Hell yeah, let's get it.
All right, we're going to hand you that rock, and you're going to do what you do, which is run violent, okay? Hey, you fit our building. You fit this offense. We can't wait to get you up here, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's get it.
Yeah, I told you. You ready?
Hell yeah, you know I'm ready.
All right, I'm on the way to get you. I'll be there in a minute.
I mean, we could get there in what, a couple hours? I mean, we'll come down there right now.
Right now.
We'll come down there right now. Sounds
Right
like
now.
you guys have been having a party all night.
I love that.
From Columbus to Cleveland.
Look at that.
Quinshon Judkins getting it done there is the first running back off the board in the second round. His teammate Travion Henderson follows 2 picks later to the New England Patriots. So went Ohio State back-to-back for running backs there. And then R.J. Harvey, the next one to come off at 60 with Caleb Johnson going in the third round from Iowa to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now looking at the wide receivers that came off the board.
Good
How about the
golly.
Houston Texans? Just posting up shop in Ames, Iowa, getting Jaden Higgins and then his teammate Jalen Knoll there for C.J. Stroud. Trey Harris goes to L.A., giving them a big target. Jack Besh to the Las Vegas Raiders. And I know we'll talk a little bit about Kyle Williams as well here going to the Patriots. And all of that is to say that last night felt like a meat and potatoes type of round. The big guys, line of scrimmage draft, 18 players on the line of scrimmage, 10 on the defensive side, 8 on the offensive side. Tonight did feel like it was a little bit more about speed and skill, guys. And in so many cases, that speed and skill now going to help some quarterbacks. And that's what we're talking about here, Steve. Which quarterback right now in the league did you feel like really got the most help from what they saw tonight in their haul?
For me, it has to be the Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud, just because you get 2 wide receivers who are familiar with each other, former teammates, but then they also bring something different to the table, right? Jalen Knowles, he's a guy that really just kind of works in the slot. He can give you some outside presence. But however, Jaden Higgins, he can go up top. He's a big guy who can seek his hips, a vertical threat, has a vertical gear, but also does some things differently. So you have different types of guys. And then obviously with the acquiring of Christian Kirk, that also helps him as well, because he's a guy who's going to teach these guys some savviness. And then you got Nico Collins, who's developing into this fantastic wide receiver. And then they all are waiting for Tank Dell whenever he comes along. But these 2 guys really help him with a second-round pick and a third-round pick.
And a tackle, by the way.
And a tackle. It's been interesting to see Iowa State over the last couple of years start to produce some quality wide receivers. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's become wide receiver university, but what it has become is, guys who are prepared to play football. They know how to read defenses.
Right.
They know what they're supposed to be doing. And so you always want that out of college, because a lot of times you see college players, all they're doing is looking at the sideline.
Right.
Very rarely are they looking at the secondary. And with these two guys, you're going to have the guys that understand how to look at the coverages.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you talk about how do you protect the quarterback, right? That's the question we're asking. Sure. It's the offensive line, it's a running game, and then it's weapons to throw the ball to. Well, the New England Patriots did all that.
I love it.
In the first couple of rounds. You're talking about first-round pick, Will Campbell. We're going to solidify the left tackle, right? Again, this guy was running for his life most of the year. So we go ahead and we get us the top left tackle on the board. We're going to make sure we protect his blind side. Then we're going to get him a running back in Henderson to pair with our running back that we already have that's really good, right? And Ramondre Stevenson. So now we have a two-back system that we can hand the ball to, throw the ball to. Henderson's going to help you in the pass protection as well. And then we're going to get you a wide receiver in Kyle Williams out of Washington State, who's explosive and can catch bubble screens and slants and have the ability to take it to the house and do some other things down the field, right? Great ball skills. Again, that's against Travis Hunter, just outruns him to the house. I mean, he did that all throughout the pack, obviously. And then last but not least, we cut our last center, Andrews. We're going to go and get you another guy from Georgia.
That's right.
Who's
I didn't
bigger,
think about the Georgia
right, who's bigger and just as athletic. What they say, ran a 4.8.
Yeah.
And we're going to solidify the inside along with what we did in free agency. To me, the New England Patriots, and again, when you do mock drafts and you start to think how people are doing, it's all about the quarterback. How can we protect and affect the quarterback? New England said we're going to protect our guy in multiple facets, and I think they're going to continue to do that as well.
Yeah, if I have to say which quarterback got the most help, I'm going to go with Geno Smith, simply because you got Pete Carroll as your head coach. When Pete Carroll was in Seattle, any and everything that happened with that offense was based off what Beast Mode did.
No question.
The Raiders were last in the league in rushing the ball last year. So what did they go out and do with their first pick?
Yeah.
You got Ashton Jenkins. Best running back in college football last year, historic season. Okay, we got our run game down. Now you go out and get Jack Best. DJ Daniel Jeremiah said this is the most physical wide receiver in the draft. Why does that matter? Because you need a wide receiver that can block when you're trying to run the ball. But then he can, you got to block. Didn't you block? You blocked.
Yeah,
you did. Okay. So you need a wide receiver that can block. And then he can go out and get open. That helps Geno Smith. Then you go out and you get offensive linemen. You got Caleb Rogers from Texas Tech, a guard or a tackle. He can play inside or outside. You got Charles Grant with the sweet feet from William and Mary.
Yeah.
This is how you build an offense. This is how you protect the quarterback. If I have to pick anybody that got the most help, I'm going to go with Geno Smith. He already got Brock Bowers there, and he had a historic rookie year. So this offense is really building to win right now.
And Besh gives them a wide receiver frame and skill set that they don't really have on that roster. A bigger body dude that goes up and makes those contested catches. We saw that all week during our coverage of the Senior Bowl. Really impressive dude, and a really a really bittersweet story about his brother and the way he's kind of fought through that resilience. I'm just really, really excited for what Jack Bech can do there for the Las Vegas Raiders, for sure. How about a family affair now with the New York New York Jets? Mason Taylor, the third tight end off the board. Thought the Jets might be in the tight end market at 7 overall. They instead take Mason Taylor, the most productive tight end in LSU program history. Of course, playing now where his dad, the Hall of Famer Jason Taylor, also played at one time.
It's it's hard when you're trying to make me cry again. I'm not going to do it, fighting it, but it's I can't. It's amazing. It's amazing. We've been really been blessed, and he's earned it. Now he's got to keep going.
Boy, special moment there. Talk about Hall of Fame bloodlines, right? Uncle and dad, Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor. Now watching Mason Taylor head to the Jets. Who's going to be the next star born on day 3 of the draft? We see it every year. We'll have a chance to see it unfold live at 12 p.m. Eastern Time right here on NFL Network. Rounds 4 through 7 commencing with the Tennessee Titans, currently on the clock right now. Much more on the way as NFL Game Day Final continues. Take you back to Green Bay, where the fireworks were coming early and often as the picks came off the board. Get ready for the 2025 NFL season like never before with the highly anticipated NFL schedule release. Every game revealed, every rivalry, every rematch, and every rookie debut. May 14th. Mark your calendar. Get all the details at NFL.com/schedule release.
With the first pick, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami. The New York Giants select Abdul Carter.
No Shedeur Sanders so far, and not only is it going to fall to 21 in Pittsburgh, but there's no backstop after 21.
Mike Tomlin's on the phone. Is Shedeur Sanders on the other end of the line? If it doesn't happen here, the only question is when does it happen tonight, if at all?
The Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon.
Look who's on the clock, guys. The New York Giants have just moved up.
The New York Giants select Jackson Dart.
Wow.
Green Bay, are you ready for round 2?
The New Orleans Saints select Tyler Shuck.
Here come the Raiders, 68th overall. Could this be the Shedeur Sanders moment?
The Las Vegas Raiders select Darian Porter.
The Steelers are next, and they're going to get back on the clock again.
The Pittsburgh Steelers select Caleb Johnson.
Seattle Seahawks have selected quarterback, Alabama, Jalen Milroe.
Wow. The Cleveland Browns select Dylan Gabriel.
We just saw 2 more quarterbacks taken here in the 3rd round, not named Shedeur Sanders.
What's the story with Sanders? I mean, that's literally
that's
everybody at home is asking the same question.
5 quarterbacks have now been taken in the NFL draft. 2 in the first round, 3 more on day 2. Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel, and the wait continues for Colorado's Shedeur Sanders, who sent out this post on X this evening as it was all unfolding and looking as if he was going to have to wait now until day 3. Thank you, God, for everything. How do we put into words what's happening here, Steve Smith, for this wait with Shedeur Sanders, which, at one point in time thought might be as high as number 2 or 3 overall in this draft? And now here we're sitting at day 3.
Well, I mean, we have to talk about it, but ultimately, every year someone in the draft slides, someone reaches for a player that they shouldn't. I don't, first of all, I've never been even considered being drafted in the top 10, so I'm not really sure what it's like or to be passed up. But we know, whether we want to admit it or not, whatever happens, whatever you're drafted, it doesn't really matter once you get the jersey and you're in the team.
Yeah.
And so I think
the case now.
Yeah, so I think that's more than anything. I know we were talking about it, but when he gets drafted now, as he, air quotes, slides, now you actually are opening up to more teams.
Yeah.
Because when you look in the beginning, there was only a selected few teams that were going to pick him who needed a quarterback to play immediately.
Yeah.
And now the league is saying that they don't believe that he's ready to play immediately.
Yeah, I think this. I think, one, the process from college football to now is very important.
Yeah.
I think how you sell yourself is very important. I think your tape is very important. And what the league is saying is that there were 5 other guys they rather have than him. But also, the league has missed on a lot, too. Right?
Every year,
right? And I've seen first-rounders not make it. Seen second-rounders not last. You've seen guys not last. So, like you said, it doesn't matter where you're drafted. I think at this point it's just a big story because, I mean, I was one. I'll put my hand up. I was one that had him in the top 10, going to the Giants at 3. I mean, there's a lot of people that mocked him there. And when you watch his tape, I think it deserves the right to be drafted. We just don't know what team is willing to make that selection. And like they said before, we're not in those rooms.
Yeah, and it could be a blessing in disguise. I said that yesterday. Like you said, Steve, you go to a team that early. You go to a team where you need to play now, you got to do a lot more. Now, it's wide open. Yeah. But the thing I want to say about this, and then I'll be done, we don't know what happened. Nobody knows. We didn't sit in those rooms. We're not in those rooms with these coaches or these GMs. All these narratives that people are just throwing out there, cut it out. We got to stop with the narratives.
Right.
He's good enough to play in the NFL. That's what we know. So, Shedeur, when you do hear your name called or when that phone rings and you pick it up, go show everybody. That's all that matters. Get in the door. He's good enough to get in the door. And once you get in the door, you go show everybody. It's simple as that. Yep. We don't know what happened, so stop throwing narratives out there.
Yep.
Do we think he should have been picked by now? Yes. He hasn't been picked. He will be picked. And when you get picked, go show everybody, and that's all that matters.
There you go. And opportunity will knock tomorrow. Day 3 of the draft. Rounds 4 through 7. Starts live at noon Eastern right here on NFL Network, streaming on NFL Plus. Where does Shedeur Sanders find his next home? We will find out at one point or another tomorrow. Still to come here on NFL Game Day Final. We'll get some of our favorite draft calls from players that were selected tonight. All right, back here on NFL Game Day Final. Coach Kelly Talavu was Mason Graham's high school defensive line coach and one of his earliest believers. From off-season workouts to park trainings during the pandemic, Coach Kelly helped build the foundation for Mason's rise. Thanks to Toyota and Jazzy G, he surprised Mason on the draft red carpet for an unforgettable grand reunion. Greatness doesn't drive solo. The Browns selected Mason Graham after trading back with the Jaguars, who made this phone call at number 2 overall last night.
Hey Travis, this is James Gladstone with the Jacksonville Jaguars. How you doing?
How you doing, Coach?
You know what? Go ahead and take a moment to soak this one in. We're trading up in the draft. We're moving from pick 5 to pick 2, and we're doing it because you're the one we've been hunting up.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision.
I love it. Hey, bro, you've been the vision, and it's not just because of what you do on the grass, but because it's who you are, right? You elevate the space around you, and by being nothing more than yourself, you're going to elevate the Jacksonville Jaguars. You've earned the moment.
Yes, sir.
And that was James Gladstone's message to the Jaguars fan base when he was hired. And there's Travis making his entrance. I love it. That's fantastic. All right, here's more Travis Hunter as he was introduced today.
I'll give you a hypothetical real quick because of your competitiveness. It's 4th and 7. You break the huddle, it's 1-on-1. And Travis Hunter, the wide receiver, sees Travis Hunter, the corner, across from him. And the ball's coming your way. Which one of y'all comes down with it?
Travis Hunter.
Shoot, that was the easiest answer of all time.
Yeah.
Right there. All right. Let's get your favorite wide receiver fit here from night 2, Steve.
Favorite wide receiver fit? I got several of them, but the Las Vegas Raiders, Jack Besh, pretty good. I think he should be. I can see him line up in tight end. He's one of those. He's a wide receiver. He played at LSU, TCU. But when I watched this film, he just really stood out. Has that Jimmy Graham type of presence where he's going to create mismatch. The name that I really thought and saw is Mike Gesicki. What the Miami Dolphins had hoped Mike Gesicki could be in a pass game. That's what I kind of see Jack Besh being.
Gerald, how about your favorite defensive fit from night 2?
I'm going to go Omar Norman Lott out of Tennessee. My buddy Robert Ayers coaches at Tennessee, and he mentioned him like mid-season. He was like, gee, you should check this guy out because he's not built like your prototypical defensive lineman for what he can do, but he said, man, he has your skill set. Quick off the ball, long arms, he's explosive. He can pass rush. He can play the run. He said somebody just has to teach him how to be a pro. The reason the best fit for me is because he's going to Kansas City. I played for Joe Cullen. Joe Cullen, when he gets around guys, they make Pro Bowls. They make all pros. He coached me. He coaches Chris Jones. He coached Calais Campbell. That's what Joe Cullen does. So I think this is the best fit with Omar Norman Lott
like
going
that.
to Kansas City, getting coached by Joe Cullen.
Joe Cullen's an incredible developer
He's a
there
good
in
man,
Youngstown.
too.
Like that, indeed. All right, MJD, favorite running back fit?
Oh, man, I got to go to pick number 60, not only because I was picked number 60, but this young fella here goes to a system. Yeah, you like that. This young fella here goes to a system that they know how to use the running back, and that's R.J. Harvey going to the Denver Broncos. You talk about Sean Payton, what he's been able to do with Alvin Kamara, with Darren Sproles, with Reggie Bush, right? Pierre Thomas. All these guys can run in between the tackles and catch the football. Even Mark Ingram, who's catching the ball as well. To me, they're going to put him in a situation where he's going to be able to flourish. This is a great pick, a great fit, and another piece to help out Bo Nix and this Denver Broncos team that made it to the playoffs last year.
All right, I like that one a lot. And, well, speaking of running back impact, we'll talk a little bit about the Philadelphia Eagles here in a moment. We'll get a few more picks starting on day 3, which begins for you here on NFL Network at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming on NFL Plus, rounds 4 through 7. Again, this is where you find some of those hidden gems right here that can turn into big-time players. As I mentioned, Philadelphia Eagles, only one pick on day 2 was a safety from Texas, Andrew Makuba. But on night 1, they had a chance to get a big-time player in Jahad Campbell. You'll hear that phone call next. Rich Eisen is running the 40 to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital once again. Tune into NFL Network to watch the NFL Draft and see Rich and friends run. Visit stjude.org/runrichrun to donate.
Hello.
Hi, is this Josh?
Yeah.
Josh, what's up, man? It's Adam Peters with the Commanders. How you doing?
What's going on? How are you?
Doing great, man. I've been my breath for about 20 picks. Hoping you do, man. Welcome to the Brotherhood. We are so pumped to have you.
Rainier Beach to D.C., bro. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's right, man. We're so pumped, man. We cannot wait to get you here, man. You represent all the things we love about our team, man. So you're going to fit in great here.
Hey, man, welcome to Washington. Can't wait to see you. Another job.
I appreciate you. That's what we like to, we like that.
We got you. You are a Philadelphia Eagle. Officially, we're on the clock right now. We just made a trade. Congratulations. We are so excited, man.
Hey, Jahad. Unbelievable.
Hey, what's up?
We were trying to get you for the last hour. You fit right in perfectly. And unbelievable. Jahad, congrats, man.
Jahad, Coach Sirianni here.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Hey, congratulations,
Sirianni, how
man.
you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Hey,
I'm doing good, man. I'm just blessed, man. You know, to add more value to the team, man.
Hey, and we know you're going to do that. Sorry you had to wait a little bit. Go enjoy your night. I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, much more on the way as we continue here on NFL Game Day Final. And tomorrow at noon Eastern, we're kicking off the final day of the 2025 NFL Draft, rounds 4 through 7. Coming your way right here on NFL Network and streaming on NFL Plus at noon Eastern. Okay, still to come. We had a dog kind of steal the show. In a fam cam moment where the quarterback was drafted. But who are the biggest dogs that got drafted tonight? That's next.
Oh, that's a wolf.
Get more of the NFL with NFL Plus. Follow the journey of future NFL stars and stay connected throughout the offseason. Coverage of the NFL Draft and more, all in one place. Subscribe today at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Alfred.
What's going on?
It's John Lynch. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good, man. We're going to make you a 49er right now, and we're thrilled to do so. All right, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Get ready, man.
Tell Tua you're ready? I'll tell him right now.
Tell him get ready, man.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right, make the flight quick. We'll see you on the grass. He'll start getting to work on cadence for you there.
I'll let you take it from here.
I think that's a yes.
Let's go.
I don't even have to say anything.
He doesn't even know which team it is.
I'll tell you what, Q, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
That might be the most lit draft party I've ever seen in
Tyler, what's going on, man? Congratulations. You are going to be a New Orleans Saint, man. We're fired up to have you.
You're fired up. We keep seeing pictures of you with your family, your dog's on your lap.
The dog got up.
Dog was ready to go. He's like, what?
Look at that. I mean, he's like, hey, what? Let me in.
We finna get some gumbo? That's what you're telling me?
That's all this about.
We actually had a draft prospect on this set that was pretty happy about his dog.
Stop.
I'm just a great, easygoing guy that likes to have fun and just, hang out with friends. I have a dog, a puggle. A lot of people don't know about those yet, but I have a puggle and, just like to hang out and just relax.
What's a pug?
It's a mix between a pug and a beagle, so it's pretty weird. But a lot of people starting to get them now, so I think I started a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Trendsetter. Is that the first time you ever set a trend, or you always been a trendsetter?
I try to set a trend in LA with the dreads. It's not really working too well right now, but I think it might come in a little bit later. So.
You ended up in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm from the Bay Area, man. That's what we got. We do dread. Okay, this is natural. Little, huh?
What's a puggle?
It's a pug beagle mix, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
A mutt.
All right, whatever you call it, that's fine.
Jeez.
All right. His name was Duke. He was my dog.
Steve, who got the biggest dog in this draft?
It ain't his little ass puggle. It would be. For me, it has to be the New England Patriots with Kyle Williams, California kid, man. I like that guy. With the UNLV, had COVID in the COVID year and then transferred to Washington State. You look at his 40 time isn't great, but you look at his game speed, that boy's running past people, got a quarterback to play. Man, I'm excited to see what he can do in that offense.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, you talk about a dog. I'm going to talk about the first dog is my guy, Jack, a.k.a. Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, who went to college with me and high school. I went to the great University of UCLA. We're going to go ahead and get this guy here, Oluwafemi.
Oladejo.
There we go. That's right. Look, he can play. He can be a versatile guy, but he's going to be an edge here. That's what you need. Don't get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to bring. That's what you need, dogs.
I'm going to stay out here in Cali, man.
That's right. Stay out here.
Carson Sweat.
Let's go, man. That's where we go.
Take over.
Walk on at UCLA.
Dog.
He played 26 games before he got his first start, and they was all on special teams.
No question.
10 starts last year, 136 tackles as a walk-on. He was almost a first-round pick. The first pick in the second round was a walk-on.
In a Buckets Award final.
Dog.
If you want to go, you know where. That's right. If you want to be a dog, you know where to go. To the U. You know. UCLA.
UCLA.
That's right.
All right, yeah, we said
please.
UCLA.
Appreciate everybody being with us. Excited to be back here with you to wrap up round 4 through 7 of the draft, which begins tomorrow at noon.